everyone, welcome to Watercolor Wednesday. I am Bonnie Krebs, creator of Watercolor the Art Impressions Way, and this week's project is a really fun one. I'm going to show you how to make these little illustrated alphabet letters. Super fun to do. So what I've done is I've created 3 of them, and I've used animals that start with these letters: C for cat, B for bunny, D for deer. But there's also a lot of other ways that you can use them. You could spell out the word baby for a really cute little baby card. B for boy, G for girl. You could use them for a name. What about the season? F for fall. You could spell out the whole word. So there's a lot of options for these and a lot of ways that you could use them. So what I've done is I've just created little 2x2 squares, and I'm going to show you how to make these. So let's get started. We're going to begin by using one of these letters. So I've decided to show you the cat one. So we're going to use the letter C for cat. In addition, we need a cat. So I'm going to use this one right here from the cat set. And then in the mini flower set, so this little guy here and these little dots right here. And then in the foliage set, so this little vine here, and that is all we need. So little tiny things, and really fun to do these little ones. They're really quick, so I also love that about them. So let's get started. I'll start out by inking the little cat, and we're going to ink him in 2 colors. So we're going to start out with the sepia. So this is the dark brown color, and it is number 969. And then we're going to go right over the top of that with the blue, and this is 565. It's kind of a dark, cool blue. And then I'm going to stamp this off because I've got kind of a really soft pastel look going here, so I don't want to have too heavy of a line. So I'm going to stamp that off and then stamp this in the center of my paper. So not super, don't push down super hard. Okay, so now I've cut out a mask. So I stamped this on a little Post-it note, and I just cut a little mask here so that I can protect this little cat when I stamp the C next to him. So that's the next step, and we are going to ink this one, and I'm using the brown again, and I'm going to stamp it with my positioner. Just want to make sure that I have this in the right place. And now I can place it exactly where I want it, and I think that's probably good right there. Place my little L bar back over it and just huff on it and stamp it back in here. Okay, so we can now remove our little cat and we can go on from here. So now we're going to take our brush, dip it in water, and pinch it off. Make sure that you pinch it off so that you don't have too much water on here, especially when you're doing these tiny, tiny little lines. These are so small, so we don't want to overdo it. So just begin by pulling this color out of the lines. Just carefully do that. It doesn't take a lot. And then we'll go on to this little cat. You can make him whatever color you want. The fastest, easiest way is to just leave him white and just kind of surround him with color. Remember the top of the little character. Remember, that's always got to be light where his little eyes are. And I'm just adding a little shadow in here. Okay, that looks pretty good. So let's go on to the next step, and we're going to add in our little vines, and that is this little one right here. And I'm just going to ink it with the green. I'm using a very light green, number 158. Love this green. And I'm just going to stamp it in here just a few times. These little illustrations they're so small, and the lines are so tiny that it just doesn't take much at all, which is really kind of nice because they're really quick. So I just put that mask back on just so that I could stamp these back here and not stamp over the top of that little guy. So now I'm going to add some water to it. And on this side. So now at this point, I'm going to place my square around it because I kind of know how large my image is going to be. So now I can kind of center my square around it. So what I do is I just take a ruler and I just kind of position it over the center, and you can see right here 2 inches is about this big. So I'm just going to make a little dot here and here. And then do the same this way. So I can see that 2 inches and just kind of center it in there. So right here and here. So now I kind of have my parameters here. So now I'm just going to take my Post-it tape and just kind of tape this off. And you can kind of tell just by kind of lining it up along the edge of your watercolor paper. Kind of makes it it's kind of the easiest way to do it, just to make sure that it's straight. You could measure this out too, but that always takes more time. So that's pretty close. And then I can do this side. Just kind of eyeball that, make sure that it's straight, looks pretty good. And then this side. Looks pretty straight too. Maybe just a little bit off. Okay, there we go. So now we're good to go. So let's continue on here, and we're going to add in the background. And the background color is this really pretty blue. It's kind of what makes it look really vintagey. It's number 526. I just love this color. It reminds me of Beatrix Potter and all those beautiful little illustrations. So just a really pretty turquoise blue. So I'm going to now just start brushing this into the background. And you could, you could do these little illustrations and do them all together and then put them in a box too. So there's just lots of fun ways that you could use these alphabets. Create fun little cards. I love the idea of the baby one. I think that would be so fun to do. Okay, don't stress out over this. This is just brushing in color. And it doesn't have to be all the same. Just make sure that you're getting color into the corners and along the edge, so that when we take the mask off, we can see that line. And just kind of work your way around. Okay, I'm going to take some of this blue now and add it to my letter. Especially on the bottom. Kind of a vintagey color with that sepia in there. And just keep blending this color. It's okay if that sepia color blends into the blue. I think that adds a lot. Okay, so let's go on and do something in the corners here. So I'm just going to take my little vine and just kind of stamp a few little things in the corner like this. And you can do whatever you want around the edge. There's lots of different options, and it doesn't take anything big. So just small little vines and flowers. That's all you need to do. Okay, so let's add some water to it now. Stamp and add water. Still the same technique. So fun. Okay, so I'm going to add my little flowers now, or the little dots, and I'm going to use kind of a vintagey rose color. This is number 757, I just really like this color too. So cute. Make sure that stays on my block. And I'm just kind of stamping it up, you know, several times, just like we did before. Dip your brush, pinch it off, and just dab. And let this kind of blend out. You know, this whole look is very soft, very pastel looking. And then let's add some more flowers into this little section here where this little guy is. So we're going to use that long stem and the same blue again. And just stamp this in here a few times. Couple more. And you can see I'm just inking part of the stem, so you don't have to ink the whole thing. And then just touch it with your brush. I'm just going to add a little darker color now underneath, just to kind of cement him down a little bit. And a little darker color underneath this C, kind of right along the edge. Just putting a little more color in here into this background. And I'm just going to take a really fine tip. This is a very fine tip pen. It doesn't matter which one you use, just really darken in the little eyes. And then I'm going to add a little darker color into the ears. And we are just almost finished with this little painting. So I'm just taking some of this. This is just the brown. Just doesn't take much at all. Just a little bit. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and take off the mask. And you can see how this turned out. So cute. And then go ahead and erase your little pencil dots. And you can trim this little painting to fit a card or put it in a little frame. That would be really cute with the child's name. So cute. Be sure to sign and date. And put it in frame or put it on a card. Give it to someone. You're going to make their day. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And for more watercolor, follow me on Instagram. I have lots more watercolor on there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next week.